Let's get on with it.
What's up, hybrids? Welcome back to another episode of the Fandom Hybrid Podcast. This is Hanako, and I am here with Anthony, Michelle, and Dena, and we are discussing episode 4 of It Welcome to Derry. And I was wrong in the last episode. We have 8 episodes of this series, so we are now at the halfway mark.
Oh,
Okay.
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 Mm-hmm.
Whew, so we've actually been discussing this before we start recording. So I don't even know where we're gonna start. We're gonna start from the beginning with the police station and these kids and the pictures because I'm a little confused, or at least I feel like the kids. I'm confused. Like, how do you have pictures and all of a sudden y'all looking at the pictures and don't nothing match up? Like, I know as a viewer, but I'm sure those kids are like, this dude is fucking with us. This whatever this thing is messing with us. And,
No.
and the pictures. How you have one that actually does look like a clown and y'all like, oh, that's a statue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got.
Because in that one, it really could have been a statue.
Mm.
Or it could have
Well,
been a
yeah,
person.
I don't know too many statues whose eyes glow.
I know, I'm just helping. I don't know.
Well, we know he already fogging the brains already,
Right.
but
Yeah.
you know, for him, he's just really kind of messing with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he's just the kids. He's like, okay, I'm gonna ramp this up a little bit.
Right. And
And all he needed was the grown folks to not believe him anymore, and that just makes it 30 times worse.
Yeah, and their fear and stuff. But it was just so funny that they go in thinking they did it. They got it together. And none in the photos.
And now you kind of put yourself on the police chief's radar. Because now anything that y'all say to him, he's not gonna believe it. You already have the town crazy girl, you know, quote unquote. You have the murderer's daughter. You know, you have the son who you meet the mama later on, but now you're gonna be like, oh, that's the troublemaker son. And we don't know what Rich is gonna, you know, how they're gonna look at Rich later on. Because like I was telling Dena, I said, okay, we've seen everybody's fear monster except for Rich's. I have a feeling his is gonna come in the next episode.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be what? Maybe his uncle.
Could be.
But I'm sure we'll get a little more background on him in the next episode. So you literally have the only 4 kids, or the only 4 people, really, who are fully aware that there is something going on in the town, who have actually laid eyes on you know, something, and now nobody's gonna believe them. So I was like, you know, but this is part of his thing. He's gonna isolate the kids, and then pick them off one by one.
One by one. Yep.
It does suck that the native lady works in town, and her people know about Pennywise and know that this evil's here, and these poor babies are suffering, and ain't nobody. Like it sucks because hopefully now that the mom and her have made friends, like maybe they'll like figure out something's happening. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel bad for these kids.
I do too, and it's sort of like a commentary on what is going on at the time. Like, think about it. Civil rights hadn't really happened yet, and indigenous people, we are literally what 60 years away from them being shoved on reservations and basically locked away. So why would they share any information with anybody?
Right. Especially when they told you at the beginning, hey, y'all don't want to go in this area, y'all need to leave us alone. When the settlers first came, and y'all didn't listen.
Like they said, don't build no houses over there. Stay away from the area. And the settlers like, nah, we build wherever we want to build.
They told them not to even go in the woods.
They told
don't
them,
go, don't hunt.
They went in there, they hunted, they did whatever they want to do. And at that point, it's like, we tried. So why would we ever try anymore?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then they was treating them bad anyway. So at some point they were just like, well, I guess they'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm. But did you notice outside of the wood when Tanya was telling the story and he was talking about the settlers got killed? You notice they never moved. They never moved the bodies. They never moved the carnage. The carnage stayed where it was.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
They were like, that's a reminder.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you don't listen and you go into the woods. But I guess the good thing about some of what's happening with the kids, Will actually does get let me change that. He didn't get the courage to tell his mama. His mama went snooping. Now, I will say this, and I said this to Dena before the episode.
Oh,
I'm kind of on
goodness.
the fence about Charlotte Hanlon. There are times when I'm okay with her character, and there are times when I just really don't like her character. And I don't know if it's just that. I think it goes beyond her standing up for things. Like in this episode, we see you nosy, you pushy, and I just like
she's not standing up for rights.
She said I was straightening up, I was doing some tidying up, and I found these stuffed in an envelope in the back of your drawer.
In the back of your drawer.
Looking there.
In the tidying up.
That's why we need to put her on the case, because she needs some things to do.
That was I
need you to learn some boundaries.
Is she taking all the clothes out the drawer to fold them and put them back in the drawer?
Like what is happening?
Are you literally going through all his things?
I think she did.
But honestly,
it's the 60s. She probably was.
But here's the thing, though. That kid ain't doing nothing. He's not doing anything.
Well, obviously,
I mean, if you find something, you may find a magazine that his dad gave him because his dad trying to push him. But other than that, he ain't doing nothing. I mean, of course, he's out there taking pictures at the cemetery. But other than that, he ain't doing anything.
But if she pulls the pictures out,
taking the pictures.
If she pulls the pictures out, it's just pictures.
He may be into photography,
right? It's just pictures. He was experimenting. He was learning how to develop
at night.
But that was the problem. It was at night and it was in a cemetery. So that probably was like, what?
It's 9 o'clock.
And
do you know where your child is?
It's 10. She didn't know where he was. And she didn't, because she didn't even realize what day he took the pictures.
Right.
Was it Tuesday, Wednesday?
Right. But yeah, so it's like, I guess on the one hand, it's good that she has the pictures because she was able to get some information out of him. So at least he's telling somebody, so somebody is aware. And thankfully, unlike Lily's mom, you know, he tells her, hey, somebody was chasing after me. What did she do? She went straight to the police station. So somebody's chasing my child. I need you to look into that. And oh, by the way, while I'm here, let's talk about this man y'all got locked up. I was like, again, you are drawing way too much attention to yourself. I need you to just kind of, oh no, chill out. Just be a nosy mama for right now. Don't get mixed into all the other stuff, especially with the stuff that we find out.
Yeah. But on the other hand, the chief of police has to understand when you say things like this is not like the South, dude, everything you're doing makes it feel like it's just like the South.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I kind of gotta I gotta sympathize with him because he's telling you it's not like the South. Like, we have proof this man lied. So it's not like he just singling this man out. He has proof that you wasn't where you said you were supposed to be.
That's true, but then it became like the South when he can't tell where he was.
Well, yeah, but the police chief don't know that yet, or maybe.
But I'm just saying,
has suspicions, but you know,
he know not to say nothing.
It also he knows he's like, oh, it's not like the South because he's like, oh, we're not doing it to the level that they doing it at, but they still doing it because they oh, he a black man, it had to be him that did it, and that's the only proof he had. Because until he found out he lied about being outside his house, he have no proof to lock that man up, no nothing. He just did it because he knew it was about to be some trouble and the mob.
Yeah,
whatever.
He was getting the pressure from it. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
That is something that they probably did to black people all the time because it was just easier because one black person versus the mob of white people was easier to deal with. So yeah, you are very much like the South. You just a little less, a little less of whatever they were doing.
But okay, let me play devil's advocate, because let's say Grogan wasn't a black man, or let's say Cal. Okay, both of them work in the movie theater, and I know, like, we understand. We've already had the conversation about Cal was the one that was chasing after Maddie, so he could have been the one that, you know, made Maddie disappear. But if Hal had, I mean, if Hal had been a white dude, okay, and these children came into the movie theater, they, you know, movie theater's bloody, the kids are missing. I don't think they found any of the body parts. I don't remember what happened to the hand that Lilly had, but you know, you have all this stuff, you have all of this so-called, I guess it is evidence, it's not evidence necessarily against him, but it's like, if it wasn't the black man, if Hal Grogan was white and his white child had taken her friends into the movie theater, they all got murdered, do you think they would still go after him? Because what other explanation do you have?
Like, see, that part, I get it, but what I'm saying is, so that guy, they would have been mad over time, but because it was a black man, I feel like they had more oomph in their anger because they thought it was a black man, versus if it was a white man and everybody knew this white man and everybody was friends with this white man or whatever, and they had no problems with this white man before. Oh, well, such and such would never do that. They would have found a way until it got to a certain point. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they immediately was like, it's him. He did it. Even like, you know, because they was looking at him they was looking at him when Maddie got taken, wasn't they, at first?
They were.
And then these kids got taken, and then they was like, oh yeah, it's definitely him because the theater's involved again. And it's like, I
don't think it helped that Maddie and Phil and Teddy and all them were friends, because that's another link. Like, if you already suspecting him for this one, then it kind of sort of follows the quote unquote natural course that you probably
the difference is a white man would get the benefit of the doubt. He doesn't get the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Once he got arrested, the white man would probably have his own lawyer.
Yep.
Rather than a
public defender.
Yep.
And who was probably white.
Spent more than a certain amount of time in jail.
Yeah, he had a public defender who's probably white, who is probably going to feel the same kind of pressure about, oh, well, he must be guilty. They arrested him.
I thought about that when Charlotte was telling him what his rights were, and he was like, oh, the public defender didn't tell me nothing about that.
Yeah, because that was typically the case during that time.
Yeah. It's the case now. They don't care. They're so swamped. Usually they don't have time to have compassion for all their clients. And typically they're, you know, poor people who can't afford, you know, attorneys. And so they don't, it's not that they don't care, but a lot of times they're just burned out.
Yeah.
And, you know, so.
Yeah. But I mean, we'll come back and talk about Grogan a little bit later, but Charlotte's whole thing, and I don't know if it's just, it could also be the way that she speaks to people, because even in her interactions with her husband, I'm like, see how y'all are married, because they don't really seem to vibe. They don't seem like they're compatible.
Well, I think they did before, and it was like an opposite attracts. He's follow the rules, and she's a free spirit, not like that, but you know, just vocal and don't go with status quo. However, it did not help that he wanted to rise in, I want to say rise in power, but
rise in ranking,
and stuff. And then the thing she did from their previous home, I think, is causing the rift in their marriage. But beforehand, when she would be like, "Oh, this is this and this," and he'd be like, "Oh, this is so refreshing because I got to go to work, and if it's green, it's green. If it's red, it's red." But now it's in, they're merging. And that's where their marital issues are coming into play.
The other difficult thing is, we know he doesn't feel fear, but we don't really know to the extent, which is, we don't know how he was before his injury.
Yeah.
We don't know really what kind of person he was or how much his personality changed since he got injured.
But you can tell what his issues are with her.
I
It
mean, yeah, but
literally is.
I'm saying, was that before or after his injury?
It doesn't matter. Just if you take the injury out, she was causing problems with his job because of her doing all the civil rights things.
Yeah.
That's
And
an
she got
issue.
arrested. Yeah.
And then when you come and move into this new town and you are following the same path, we don't know what slack or what issues he had on his job from what she was doing.
Right.
But I don't even think it's the medical thing. I think it's more of he is now interfering with his job.
I'm just saying it's a contributing factor.
Yeah.
I do think that like when she and when they first got together, he might have thought her being kind of a go-getter, kind of a like, you ain't fucking with me type person. He might have really loved that about her when they first met. Until they start interfering in their home life and now in his job and all that stuff. It might have been something that he really loved about her.
Yeah.
That
But now he want her to be.
I'm not taking it.
But
he
I don't even know if I want to say it's interfering, but given what we've kind of gleaned from their conversations and then also from what we see her doing now, I feel like it's the part where it's not just about her interfering. She's literally putting them in danger. Like when Will sees Pennywise outside, he thinks it's somebody watching the house because of Charlotte going to the police station. So obviously that's not the first time something like that has happened.
Right.
So I'm thinking he's probably more like, you are making us targets, or you're putting us in a position where too many eyes are on us. Like,
right.
We just need to kind of chill out, not do anything that's going to bring us any attention or any negative attention.
Right. And that's probably what it was, eyes from everywhere, in and out of, government.
Yeah.
So,
but let me tell you now, she is like a dog with a bone. She's like, okay, here's something. I see something is not right. I'm gonna go check it out, because she done went to visit Grogan's mama. She done talked to Rose. She done went and threatened the police assistant. She was like, look, you gonna let me see him? I got a note from his mom. Girl, when I tell you, I fell out when she said, I got a note from his mama giving me permission to see him. I was like, what is he, 12? But she was like, if you don't let me go in and see him, I will have MLK, JFK, RFK, and every other FK up here. I was like, oh, okay, so she knows some folks. So that also lets you know kind of how deep she might have been in the movement. Because if she's rattling names like that, saying, oh, I can make a phone call and they'll be here in the morning, her husband might have something to worry about. Like, oh yeah, she about to bring the big hitters.
Or she could have just been using the names because she knows what names make white people think.
I don't know. Something about the confident way she said it makes me feel like she probably knew these people, or at least, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility she would know MLK.
Right, no, that's true. I just wonder if she really, or she just knew she had him on the ropes, and she was just like, I'm gonna dig it in.
I don't know. I kind of feel like she might be serious, and that might be one of the things that Leroy is worried about. Not worried, because of course this man don't have fear, but he can still be like, I'm gonna need you to chill out, because we got a child over here we got to think about, and we, his safety and his. So I don't know. She is a very interesting character though, but I am kind of divided on whether or not I like her or not. It's like, I don't mind stirring the pot, but she's stirring, and I just feel like it's about to explode in her face. I feel like something is about to happen. Especially now, not only is she on the radar of the police, because of course that police officer went back and told the chief, oh yeah, so she threatened to do this.
Yeah.
To go see Grogan after you specifically told her not to go see Grogan. So now she's going to be on the police chief's radar. Her son is on the police chief's radar. And not only is her son on the police chief's radar, he's also now on Pennywise's radar.
Yeah.
So, and I know she has nothing to do with the Pennywise thing, but I have a feeling she and her husband are going to figure out something real quick because Leroy already knows something weird is happening. He goes fishing with Will. Will's fly comes off the line. He's like, "Oh, stay right here. I'm gonna go to the car and get the." I'm looking at that like, Will, if you don't go with your daddy, because
Right.
why?
At least come off out the water at least.
First of all, when the clownfish swam up, I was like, really?
Yeah, no
Clownfish?
No fish is coming to you either.
Clownfish.
And it was big.
It was
right.
Because at first,
because I thought it was a koi at first.
Yeah.
Like, what? And then he just sat there and looked at him. I said,
Mm-hmm. I did too. I was like, well, that's a big. Oh no, that's a clownfish.
And when it grabs him, like, the good thing is Leroy at least was paying attention because he hears the commotion from the car. He goes running. And my daughter, she was watching the episode with me. She said, I guess he feel fear now. I was like, I don't know if that was fear or if it was just he heard his son. And he was like, okay, I got to go get to my son because you may not have fear, but that's still your child. You still, I'm sure
you still have that paternal instinct.
Yeah.
Is not in the same part of the brain as fear.
I do wonder, like, is it possible to have no fear for your own life, your own safety, your own mortality, but you fear for other people? Is that a thing? Is that a separate thing, or?
And I was thinking that too, especially when his son starts to get more in danger. How would he feel?
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I think if it's just fear in general, but like things like paternal instinct and instinct to protect
love.
your family and love,
paternal fear,
those are all in different parts of the brain than the fear part.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah, but I mean, at least he also, like, when Will is trying to tell him, because what happens is the clownfish turns into a hand, pulls him under. Oh. He sees a vision of his dad burned. And when he's telling his dad about it, he was like, "Yeah, I saw you. You pulled me under. You were burnt like you was after your plane crash in Korea." And his dad is like, "Hold up, you're not making sense." And then when he looks at Will's arms, Will has scratches. And like he told Halloran later on, he was like, he was scratched up like an animal had scratched him. Like, what are we looking for? I'm glad he thought about that, because when Will is like, there's something bad here in Derry, he didn't even question it. He said, hold on, y'all, some weird shit has been happening since.
Remember, he's always analyzing and processing. Mm-hmm. So he quickly put 2 and 2 together.
Right. Because he went to go see the general. He was like, what do you have us looking for out there? He goes to see Halloran. He's like, what are we looking for? Halloran's like, I don't know. I don't know. But Halloran is also still having his little visions too. So at least with Will being kind of sort of in danger or being on Pennywise's radar, at least now you do have a couple of adults who are kind of aware of what's going on. And like I said in the last episode, his dad might be the best person for him to discuss that with, because if dad has no fear, Pennywise can't really do anything to him. Like even after Will sees him in the telescope and Leroy goes outside to try to confront whatever it is, whoever he thinks is watching the house, he sees the red balloon in the tree, just like they saw the balloon at the river earlier that day. He's just looking at it like, okay, y'all got some weird shit going on.
Yeah.
At least at this point, your son's not lying. He's not exaggerating. He's not making up, some stuff.
As an observer in this situation, my concern would be if Pennywise finds out this man ain't scared of him, or looks like he's not scared of him, to what extent would he go
to see
if he can make him scared? That would be my concern.
And it would have to do with Charlotte and Will. I mean, we know it's not really going to be Will, because we know Will grows up, has a son, Mike, and we know Mike grows up. So we know it's not going to be Will. But you remember I said they don't really mention Charlotte in the Losers, in the the versions of it where we see Mike talk about, we know his grandfather is there, but that's the only family he has.
Yeah. But we also know it changes over time. So this version of it may not be as petty as the more recent version.
You really want to say that after March? I think he's very
No,
petty. I think
he just fine-tuned the petty for the other group. Here, he's just all over the place and out of control.
Yeah, but that was my concern. Like, oh, he ain't scared of me. Well, let me see if I can make him scared. You know what I'm saying? Like, what to what extent is he gonna go?
But you know what? Because I was gonna say he may not be scared, but what he will be if he realizes something has targeted his son and is fucking with him, he's gonna be angry. Mm-hmm. That's gonna be something that, you know, I don't think Pennywise wants to deal with either. Mm. But yeah, I was just like that poor little Will, because that baby, he done been through it.
But I feel like he would use that anger though, because when he used Henry Bowers to come after them when they were grown, because Henry was still mad in what's the place called again?
Juniper Hill.
Juniper Hill. He was still in Juniper Hill, and he was still mad after all them years, even though he was clearly a little gone. Yeah. But he was like, oh, I'm gonna get them. You know, he was still like thinking about them kids. Mm-hmm. So he could use that anger and make him turn against the wrong person.
Yeah. But it's going to be interesting to see how that works out, because I'm kind of like Anthony, like if this man has no fear, and we see even with the flashback or the story that we hear later on about the monster's origin, he attacked grown people then. Now, I don't know if, you know, I think one of you mentioned it in the last episode, maybe his preference turned to children because their fear is more pure. So maybe that's why he targets children now, but we see that wasn't always the case. So I don't know. I think Leroy is going to be a case study. Because you don't have fear. Obviously, you can feel something that's akin to fear, because you worried about your son enough to haul ass and get into that river, and enough to go, you know, see who was stalking outside your house. Right. Again, that could just be anger, but that could also be empathy or just love. Like, this is my son. Like, I'm not scared, but I don't want him to be scared. Right. Well, however that works. I don't know what it's like to be without fear. I'm scary, so I don't know.
Same.
But I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him and how this moves forward, especially since he has an idea already that there is something not quite right with Derry because of what the military has him. Mm-hmm. But also, will Pennywise make that connection? And what will he do if he does? Like, oh, wait, you're the same guy that was flying the plane that was coming to look for me, and this is your child. Like, will Pennywise make that connection? And will he do something like on purpose to try to, I don't know, maybe get rid of Leroy, or he'll try to get rid of Leroy? Because, okay, if this man is not scared of you, then he's a threat to you.
He's a huge threat.
He's a threat. Probably the only threat that's in the town right now. Aside from the indigenous people, and the indigenous people are just basically like, we know where to stay away from.
Right. You stay on your side, I stay on mine.
Right. Because what did it say in the story? They lived in harmony with him. They stayed away from out of his hunting grounds, and he stayed in the woods because he couldn't cross because of whatever. Because he wasn't strong enough at that time.
Yeah, and they know his nature too.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I don't want to say they do psychological training, but by telling them the stories and all this stuff and keeping them away from it, they're kind of prepared. Mm-hmm. So he can't sneak up on him and scare him to death.
Yeah,
because
and it has something to do with. Also, you know, one of the things they also always say, especially when it comes to like indigenous people, native people, when they pass down their words, their oral histories, that does have a kind of its own magic about it.
It does have power, yeah.
You know, because especially the way she told him, she was like, I want you to repeat the story. Like, this is not, I know I've mentioned this before, it's not like a game of telephone where you tell somebody this, they tell somebody this, and y'all might get a few of the details wrong. No, they make sure that they tell these kids the story and that they memorize them. He said the elders made us memorize this when we were 7.
Yeah.
And the way that he told that story is almost like he was reading a book. They made sure they didn't, you know, they didn't fudge on any of the details or anything. So in a way that has its own kind of power because they believe that story.
And remember, the reason why the Losers Club was able to beat him is because they had confidence and knew what he was and was able to face him down. Like he can't, he doesn't, is very, it seems like it has a problem with that. Yeah. Like it has to really scare you and get that fear out of you. If it can't, then it doesn't really have any power. So it makes sense that the stories they tell make sure that they're able to be protected against it. So.
And then also the conversation that the kids were having when, you know, again, these are some smart kids, because Lilly was like, well, what if there's a way for us, you know, if it's coming after us with fear, you know, Will was like, he was talking about the fear hormones. He was like, yeah, adrenaline and cortisol. He said a lot of predators, when there's a lot of that in their prey, you know, it kind of excites them. It makes the hunt better for them. And I was laughing at Ronnie and Rich, because Ronnie was like, well, let's assume that. Rich was like, no, I don't want to assume that.
No. That sounds horrible.
Like, why are we going to do that? Let's just not do that. But I mean, it makes sense for what we know of Pennywise and the way that it operates.
Yeah.
Again, it's going to be interesting because we know Leroy doesn't have it. And I don't know, maybe because obviously Halloran has no problem being scared, because you can see that when he saw his grandmother in the woods, he was clearly scared. She was giving him a warning.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know if it comes after him while he's with Hanlon, you know, I guess kind of sort of like it was in the airplane, but if he comes after him in a more gruesome way, let's say like what happened with Marge, like I don't know what Hanlon at that point, will he still be immune to it, or I don't know how that's gonna work. I mean, I don't think he'd be scared, but it's again, how do you deal with an enemy that's not scared of you? If you're Pennywise,
you don't mess with him. You don't.
You just don't.
You don't. Like, you don't. Yeah.
Kind of like Howland said, he was like, yeah, I know not to mess with you.
Right. I mean, because I can't get what I want from you, so why even bother? Like, he's sensing everyone, so I'm not even going to deal with you.
Yeah. And I also feel like if Dick can pull himself together, he might be as strong as, if not stronger than it. But he's got to get over his fear. If he realizes that it is doing it psychically, and he's like, wait a second, I'm also a psychic, and maybe he can battle it.
And he probably can, because I don't think it can hurt him as much, even though he's scared. But I think that's the one thing that's saving him.
And I don't think he was prepared. Again, we talk about preparation. I don't think he was prepared in the helicopter. Because like you said last episode, you pointed out, it wasn't supposed
to see them. Yeah, it wasn't supposed to see them. Yeah.
So he just got to get over his hangups and put his mind to it. Yeah. Because, you know, in The Shining, it seems like he's a pretty powerful psychic. Yeah. And even in Dr. Sleep, he's a pretty powerful psychic. So if they're going to go with that universe for this, then he should be a pretty powerful psychic.
Okay. Yeah.
Or clairvoyant, or however you want to say it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, obviously we know he also makes it out of this, so he's not going to die in this series. We know that.
No, he just got the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah. I mean, I would too. Maybe that's why we don't see Charlotte. Maybe Charlotte got the hell out of Dodge. Maybe she left, and maybe for whatever reason Leroy didn't leave. Maybe his not having any fear was a reason for him to stay. He's like, oh, okay, you know what? He can't harm me. At least I can stay here. And I mean, if you think about it, in it, Mike is the one that stays. He becomes like kind of sort of a historian. He becomes the library. He is the one that retains the memories of the stories of what happened. Maybe it's similar for him what the indigenous people did. Maybe once what happens here happens, and Leroy is a part of that. Leroy passes it down to Will. Of course, Will knows all the stuff because Will is the one who's experiencing it firsthand right now. And maybe they are the ones who pass it down to Mike and like, hey, somebody has to remember, just like the indigenous people do. So maybe that's the tie with the Handlers, because Will is kind of ground zero at this point and Leroy doesn't have the fear factor. Maybe that's what contributes to the Handlers staying there. And that could also
I'm curious to see how much Leroy retains, because we know the monster puts the adults in the fog, and even the kids, as they grow older, they forget what's happening. So
but I wonder again if that has something to do with if him not being from Derry will have an effect on that.
Right, and leaving because the kids forgot because they left.
Yeah, but everybody in the town is like that. Even if they don't leave.
But they don't forget it, they gloss it over.
Yeah,
like they'll be like, oh, do you remember when you were a kid? Yeah, I mean some kids went missing, but I think we're all fine. Like,
like
and
like
someone comes in like
they
have an abnormally high number of children go missing in the city.
They ran away. We never found.
Yeah, that's what the nurse said. Yeah. The nurse was like, "What was it?" She said it was the depression, families.
Yeah, people was trying to go get food and stuff. Like, some of the kids, they remember, but they didn't have to. They didn't deal with it because the people who dealt with Pennywise didn't make it. So there's a group that wouldn't know who he is. They just know that kids were missing.
Right, but
no one encountered him and survived.
I guess the reason I'm saying that is, why would Leroy, after all the crap happens, stay?
Now that's what we're gonna have to find out, because that makes no sense where he stays and raises his family there. Yeah, that part I don't know. That's really,
you don't have to have your farm in Maine. You can have your farm in Oklahoma.
Right. We can go to Florida. I mean, Georgia. That's
what I said. I'm interested to see.
Right. And they have to find, like, I don't know. Does she die? The wife?
Charlotte, yeah.
You know, and they want to stay close to her body.
I just thought that maybe she left after Will's father died. After Will dies in the fire with his wife.
She left, she'll be old at that point.
Yeah.
You ain't finna.
I'm saying she could just be like, maybe she had been trying to leave. She might be the person out of faith, like, we need to get out of here.
And then you wouldn't leave your grandkid there.
Well, the way it works.
No, Anthony, people do leave. Come on now.
And especially given this character that
and people do leave
doing that.
Because on It Part 2,
I'll let y'all give her the benefit of the doubt.
But It Part,
she might be dead.
Yeah.
Now she Miss Nosy. Now we do admit that, but I didn't say she was not a bad parent. She's trying to.
But then again, she could have. We only saw Leroy for a brief moment, so it's possible that she could have just been at the farm.
Yeah, but the question is not about Charlotte. The question is, why did you stay? Yeah. Why stay?
That's what I was asking.
Why?
Why are they still there?
And they have to make that really good. And people do leave because you have it like it too. The couple, the guy was from Derry, and he's bringing his partner to Derry for the carnival, for the fair. So that means they didn't live there. He just came home.
Yeah.
But ultimately, if you encounter Pennywise, you don't live. So It's not like you
Unless you're part of
forgot
that
them.
losers club that ended
Yeah,
up
that happened
shooting him.
to, and then they all left except for Mike, and he remembered and he studied.
Well,
Yeah,
Dick
because
fixed
once they
them
put
all that
him back down for
left.
20-something years, they had a break so they could
Yeah, but
escape.
Dick is different because that's not he's not from Derry. And he's been seeing the world like that all his life. So
So yeah, look, we have 4 more episodes in this first season, so maybe some of that will get answered. Because I think the second season, third season, they're going further back in the past, right? So so we got to find out what happens with Leroy and Charlotte them in this season at least.
Yeah.
Because we don't
better.
even be in their time period for season 2.
I know we better. They better not play no games.
Yeah.
Leave us hanging.
Right. Because no, I don't think they would do that, because why would you make this family so prominent? Like, you're literally putting them, all 3 of them have their hands in this Pennywise puzzle, even if it's kind of like just adjacent, they're all in there. So yeah, you can't make them that important or that central to the story and then just kind of drop it, not without having a full riot and people abandoning the show. So yeah, I guess we may find out, because that would be interesting. Like, I really want to see how Pennywise handles a person like Leroy who doesn't have any fear. And what do you do after that? Because something tells me if you have this one person that is not affected by you, has no fear about you, for something like Pennywise don't like being foiled. We know that he doesn't like people getting, over on him or one upping him. So you got to think there's going to be some kind of consequence to it. Not that Leroy's doing it on purpose. It just happens to be what happens, but there's going to be some kind of reckoning. And unfortunately, it may be Charlotte.
Yeah.
It may be Charlotte.
I really would hate it if they kill her, man, because
so I don't know.
I don't want her to die. I feel like she does bring something.
Yeah.
That's needed.
Yes.
Somebody need to question this shit.
Right. Right.
Right.
Just don't go in your child's drawers, in the back, underneath, on the side, taped to the.
What are these pictures that are not nudie pictures? They're not disgusting pictures. They're not weird. They're just statues.
Right.
I'm sorry, you go digging for dirt. What you gonna find?
Dirt.
Kind of like what she found when she went to go visit Hal Grogan. So let's talk about Hal Grogan for a minute. Anthony, you were kind of hinting in the last episode that you figured out what Grogan was doing before you saw this episode. Was it what you thought?
It was exactly what I thought it was. Because they gave no indication that he was like a drug addict or anything. I'm like, nah, this dude was hanging out with some he was probably with some white chick. I wouldn't have guessed she was married. And for a minute, I was thinking that's who it was. Lilly's mom is what I was originally thinking.
But
I tossed that. I tossed that idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, I figured that's what it was, because what that is the only thing that a black man at that time period would not admit to or say to anybody.
Nah, because Dena and I was thinking he might have been seeing another man. That would have been something else.
No, if it was another black man, they don't care about that. Y'all fooling around with each other. Who cares about that?
Back in that time, not as much as him messing around with a white woman, but
if they would have made fun of him, they would have told everybody in the town, but they would not have cut his balls off and lynched him from a tree.
True that.
That is not the same kind of fear. Embarrassment and shame is not the same as fearing for your life.
No, I get that.
Those are two totally different things.
I
So yeah,
just
of course, a black man at the time, no man at the time would admit that they were gay because they would be embarrassed and ashamed.
Right.
But no black man at that time period would ever admit to being with a white woman, much less a married white woman.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Because that was wild.
Yeah, because
both of them be
Charlotte,
dead too.
she was like,
no,
she was like a married woman, like not just married. I was like,
he might beat her, but she would be dead.
But now the question is, who is the husband?
Who is it? Yeah, just who is it? Period.
Hopefully not the captain.
Oh God.
Hopefully not the captain.
Oh, that would
put some bets on there. Who it is? We need to put some bets on.
Right. I mean,
5-1 is the captain's wife.
I mean, we don't.
It's 5-1.
Yeah, I was gonna say we haven't really met anybody in the town except for the captain, the general, maybe a couple of the military guys, but nobody that it would. I don't know.
Nobody who would be like, oh my God, except for
Chief Bowers. I mean, and maybe. I mean, if her,
but she'll be kind of old, won't she? Because
well, it depends. Because she didn't have to be. Because he old, you know that, that. They never got to be the same age.
You're right, especially at that time.
Yeah,
wow.
That's true. She could be
okay, but
also just because that's supposed to be. Is that Henry Bowers' granddaddy or his daddy? Is
granddaddy?
I think that's his.
It's his granddaddy.
Yes,
granddaddy.
It'll be his granddad, right? Because he's about their age.
He's about their age. Yeah.
Age, right? That's right. Yeah, the Losers Club age. Yeah. So maybe
there's like a history of. Maybe there's gonna be like a history of like that black man slept with my grandmama, and then my grandparents got a divorce.
I mean, that would explain why Henry Bowers is racist.
Super racist, right?
It would explain it. But yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that would be interesting. But I mean, either way it goes, I mean, Hal got a problem now because you can't say where you were. Obviously your alibi shot, because your mama was so adamant about the fact that you was there. I really thought that you was there. And I guess mama thought it too, but like you said, mama was probably crying out sleep, read her Bible, and
right. She doesn't know who came in and out that house. Both of them was out the house now.
Because she did,
and she didn't even know.
She said, "I thought he was in his room."
Right. And obviously thought Ronnie was in hers too when she was at the movie theater showing a weird movie to friends while they're getting torn apart. So,
and then her dad thought she was home with Granny. But Granny ain't paying attention to nobody.
Doing their job.
It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
No, I don't.
In the room? Did you go check?
Look, do you know where your young children and your grown children are? Because obviously, Mama Grogan don't.
Ooh, child.
Oh,
so no, here's the thing. Okay. So maybe it's not the chief. Because I was just thinking. He seems to work days. Yeah. And he went over to the house and it was 11-ish or whatever time it was.
Okay.
So whoever it is has to work overnight.
See, that's why I thought it was Lily's mom.
But she doesn't have a husband.
But maybe they were doing it like when he was still alive, maybe.
Because
this is recent.
Because he.
But the husband has to have the night job. That's what you said,
right? Like because he's sneaking over to see her at night, so the husband has to work overnight.
Captain's at the bar or his precinct.
But that's well, I mean, he could very well be working late, but it seems like he's always there, mostly during the day.
Yeah, but
I just
he's
feel
there
like
at
that was
night. He at the bar. Remember, he go and
Why
get his
why
boiled
we really
eggs.
trying to make it the
yeah,
captain?
but that's pushing it though. Like you just know he gonna be at the bar all night long.
And she said she could be at bridge.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, I guess it also depends on where he goes when he meets her, to be honest. Because
Right, because I was gonna say, one, you're in a small town.
yeah,
So
and
you
people
are a
saw
black
you.
man with a white woman. That if y'all are out in public anywhere, that's gonna be noticeable.
Well, he's
Right.
smoking cigarettes in the alley. Is he waiting for? Cause that's where he was with her.
Well, then what they doing in
That's
the
where they
alley?
found the
They
cigarette.
some wild.
I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
that
some
was like-
people hit it in the alley if they ain't got nowhere else to go. So
Hit it and quit it in the alley.
right. Or some I mean
Obviously, he's not taking it to the theater.
Right.
Well, at least that part.
We know that.
Right.
At least that.
And
I
so I
mean,
guess she could be poor enough where she's like that. You know, the husband works somewhere overnight, and then they have like a little apartment, a little something, little building or something they can go to. So I don't know, but it just don't seem worth it. Whatever he doing.
It's
right.
love.
Because he never said love. He just said I was with a woman. Then he said it just happened. So
Wait a minute. Like it just happened
Like we didn't
that
mean for it
night
to
in the
happen.
alley.
Yeah, I
or
wasn't sure if he
it's
meant, hey, did this
just
happen tonight,
we
or it just sort of happened.
our relationship just kind of came from like
Yes.
talking about movies. Ooh. Anybody family into movies? Because maybe they talked at the movie theater.
Maybe we need to go back to the first episode. There might be a hint or a clue. Or
Good point.
Yeah.
I mean, I see now Anthony got me thinking about Lily's mom because I don't know when Ronnie came to the house to go off on Lily, and the mom was like, "You need to get out of here." What did she do? She called Granny. She was like, "You better get out of here before I call your grandmother." How you got her grandmother on speed dial? Like Lily and Ronnie literally just met. So unless she has, well, I mean, they have the white pages back then, but you just gonna say, "I'm gonna call your grandmother." So you know the number, like I don't know. Now I'm starting to think, Anthony. It might be Lily's mama.
And she worked nights. Who knows what she's doing during those nights?
So maybe
she might not be working every night.
Maybe it's at her diner.
And they go to the alley.
Well, not only that too, but also she could be the one panicking when Ronnie is there because she knows, oops, they got him in jail because they think he did this, but I can't say anything because she could be thinking the same thing too. And Ronnie showing up at her doorstep might have panicked her. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that episode now to see that interaction between her and Ronnie.
Now y'all thinking like me now. That's good. I like that. Y'all see what I see.
Because you gotta wonder when he says he's messing around with a married woman and it's a married white woman. Like Charlotte wouldn't even say it out. She had to whisper like, so right. It's one of those things where you start thinking, okay, let's see who could fit the bill. Because we don't see most of the younger white people that we've seen in the town have always been walking with a boyfriend or a husband.
In the background, yeah.
Yeah, in the background. Mm-hmm. The only other prominent white woman that we've seen is the hoity-toity older woman. And I'm sorry, that just don't seem like house type. And she don't seem like the type who would, because she's the one that's looking at them like,
Doesn't Lily's mama smoke?
Oh,
don't they all smoke at that time?
I don't know. She take pills, don't she?
Yeah, she definitely pills.
We gotta get to that.
We
take pills.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe she's taking pills in the back alley. I don't know.
I mean, she might have to. If she knows she's doing wrong, she might have to in order to
ease her anxiety.
Right. Mommy's little helper indeed. But so I guess since we're talking about the pills, let's get to the pills because we gotta talk about Marge. Cause
boy.
First of all,
Little
Okay,
Marge.
I'm not one to wish harm on children.
No, of course not.
I'm not. But Marge, you
She might
set
have got.
yourself up.
She might have got what she deserved.
Yeah, she
You really
did.
did.
Just a little bit.
She
Just a
did.
little bit. Just a little
She
comeuppance.
did.
Yeah. But Dena and I was having this conversation again before we started recording. And we were thinking about that because she was saying that Lilly was in the bathroom stall and she was kind of oblivious to what was going on. And it was kind of like, okay, Pennywise was ignoring her because Marge was already exhibiting kind of fear because she was scared to tell Lilly the truth. She was trying to confess to Lilly that, hey, I know I told you this guy like you, but I was setting you up because they're going to embarrass, the patty cakes are going to use him to embarrass you. And she was a part of that. She was scared and Pennywise fed on that scare. But at the same time, I was thinking, I said, he didn't go after Lilly because in that moment, Lilly was happy. Yeah. She had nothing to fear. She
was.
I can't believe Tim likes me. She was.
Yeah.
So
however,
he probably couldn't even. I don't know how this works with him. Like maybe he senses the fear, and maybe if she was that happy, he didn't even notice she was there.
See, I always feel like he just monitors them, looking for a moment, and in his monitoring of Lilly, he's like, "Oh, what we got going on over here?" And she just kind of perked his interest because she was already in a heightened state of fear.
So you mean Marge?
Yeah, Marge. Okay. So he's monitoring Lilly, waiting for a moment.
Right.
And then something pops up on his radar. And he sees Marge is like, oh, here's a tasty snack.
Yeah.
And he directs his attention to her.
I don't even think it's just Lilly. I think he monitors them all.
He probably monitors all the kids.
Because other kids are missing. We just don't, we're just not in their story.
Yeah.
Right.
He's monitoring all the kids. Yeah. But he was paying particular attention to Lilly because she looks like she's gonna be a real tasty snack when he's done with her.
Yeah, that poor baby.
And she tends to attract scaredy people too.
Yeah. But the whole thing with Marge, first of all, the eyes thing, because when you're listening to the classroom lecture and he's talking about the snails and the eyes, I was like, why are they showing us this? I should have known. But when Marge's eyes start bulging out and she starts having the issues and she runs out, Lilly, of course, she is taking some of her pills, her mom's pills, and giving them to the other three because she was like, yeah, my mom says anytime she gets scared or stressed, she takes these and it's like her worries float away.
Mm-hmm.
So she's trying to take her pill when she hears Marge panicking because she has figured out. She's like, okay, it's here. She's like, whatever you see, don't look at it. She doesn't realize that it's literally messing with Marge's eyes. But she tries to take the pill and she drops it into the toilet. And at one point, you see her trying to go for the pill in the toilet. And my daughter was like, no, don't do that. She better not do that. I said, no. I said, believe me, the stuff that Pennywise has shown this little girl already, she's going
to dig in there.
In the toilet
right.
is the least of my worries.
Right. I don't care. I need the pill.
Right.
I need the pill.
Shield me for even 60 seconds. I will take that 60 seconds of bliss rather than this fear. But of course, once Marge runs out the bathroom, she follows her. Marge goes into the shop classroom of all places.
Oh my. Well, for a reason.
It was the only door that was unlocked.
Yeah.
Also, she wanted to cut her eyes. Now
she knew where she was going.
She needed the equipment.
But I don't think that was her intent. She was just trying. I think she may have been trying to find someone to help her. I don't think she was just trying to figure out what was going on. Like, why are my eyes doing?
No, she went straight for. She went straight for self-harm. Sorry, everyone.
I do wonder because I was like, how bad was it hurting, or was it just because it was the place that she had the biggest issue with herself, with her looks and everything?
With the eyes.
Was it just painful? Or was it just, oh my God, I look terrible?
I think probably the pain, because I mean the way that they show it, it's like her eyeballs are coming out. That's gotta hurt. Because
I'm wondering, like,
yeah,
I'd say it's both, because from the beginning, she is self-conscious about her
Very
eyes.
self-conscious about her eyes, right?
She is. That's the reason why I even freaked her out in the get-go. Because she's always adjusting. I mean, it's her eyes. Her eyes is what.
Do these glasses?
And
Even
people,
when she got the glasses.
right? And people talk about how big her eyes are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they probably don't talk about it, but for a person who have big eyes, I know. So it's like that's a constant talking about, and that's an issue she has.
Mm-hmm.
So between the pain and also, that is the one thing I can't stand is Lilly out the here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
And then she picks up a tool, and she's literally trying to cut it. I don't know what she thought she was doing, but I don't know if she thought maybe it was a growth, maybe it was some attached. I don't know if she was aware that these were her actual eyes that she was going to be digging in. I think she was just so far gone at that point, and probably just so in pain. She was just like, "What is this?"
Panic.
Yeah, and she tries to gouge her eye out, and that doesn't work. And then she sees the fucking table saw. I was like, she is not about to. Yep, she sure is. And she puts her face on the thing, and she's trying to saw off her eyeballs. And Lilly she gets into the classroom just as this is happening. She grabs Marge, she throws her on the ground. Marge is still trying to do whatever. She grabs the tool again, and she's trying to literally cut her eyeball out. And I was just looking at this like this. I was like, Lilly, get off her, get off her, get off her. This is not what you want. This is not what you want. And literally, as soon as she grabs the tool to try to get Marge to stop, she's got the bloody tool in her hand like this, and everybody
watches it. That makes me laugh.
In the classroom. I was just like, he didn't have to do anything to her. He fucked her up right here. He just made sure she was going to get another one-way ticket to Juniper Hill, where he would be able to mess with her the whole time. But you know, other thing,
how's she going to get out of this? How's she going to get out of this?
Yeah,
Marge would literally have to tell
that it wasn't her, that I did it to myself.
Yeah,
Marge
was
going to have to vouch for her.
Yeah,
because that's the only way.
Because she took the tool out of Marge's hand, right?
Yeah.
But the other thing about the Juniper Hill thing that kind of bugs me, I feel like something ain't right about that nurse.
It's not. I turned to Michelle and I said, I don't like her. Something ain't right with her.
Something's not right with her.
Nurse ratchet. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, and see, that's the problem. That's what I think of. So no,
Because when Lilly meets with you to tell you what's going on, like, and to find out, hey, have these disappearances happened before and stuff like that, you are way too calm to talk to her. And you are just a nurse. You're not a doctor. You're not a psychiatrist. I don't know, just the way that she was with her. And she was like, yeah, we had some disappearances, but it was this, like, she was kind of explaining it away. And then she was like, oh, nothing like what you said. But you know what? That's no excuse for you not to continue digging around and finding some shit. What?
I got Pennywise vibes from her.
That, I was wondering that too. I was like, either Pennywise is influencing her, or she's just a regular human and something ain't right. Because when she was sitting there and she reached over and she grabbed her hand, I was like, no. Something just don't seem right. Yeah. And I don't know if that'll play in the next episode, because of course, like I said, right now they're gonna either lock Lilly up or they're gonna send her back to Juniper Hill. They'll probably send her back to Juniper Hill because now, you've had your first visit after your dad died. You had your second visit after the pickle incident. You just went to the police station and told them that you were being chased by ghosts of your dead friends in the cemetery, and now you are like hunched over one of your friends with a weapon in her eyes. And the police chief already kind of put it out there that, well, if Hank Grogan didn't do it, then maybe people might say that you did it because you were with them and blah blah blah. And now you literally are caught in a situation where it looks like you were trying to kill another child. another friend of yours. So I don't know. I feel like if Marge doesn't say anything, if they put her back in Juniper Hill, the nurse can either say, well, she did come to me and ask me about this. But I don't think that would look good for her either, because it's going to be like, why are you asking me about dead children right before you, quote unquote, attack another child? I don't know, something about that nurse just don't sit right with me. She real sketchy. What are y'all watching in the background, Marge? I can tell because the way y'all's faces are looking, I was like, they must be watching Marge in the background.
Yeah, I went back to see if Marge had tried to open any doors. Now she went straight to the shop.
And then she really freaked out when she saw herself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she did.
Yeah.
But,
oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm like you, Anthony. I don't want to wish harm, but again, we're talking about fictional characters, so I don't feel quite that bad because she's a horrible character.
She's horrible.
Like,
and to be fair, I get it. There are kids
she's just a bad friend
who get picked on to the extent where they feel like they got to do that because they're so tired of being picked on. They're so tired of being the butt of the joke. They feel like they got to put, but like, that's the thing. You should never turn against people who you feel are less than you or less fortunate or less popular.
Or who you've been best friends with since the first grade.
To make yourself better, because like that, it never pays off. That's just stupid to do that. It just never pays off. It's never a good thing to do. But that's what happens. These kids, when they're bullied, then they start being a bully, especially if they get popular.
You know what? That's why I had no problems with 11 hitting Angela in the face with that skate in Stranger Things 4.
Oh, I thought you was going to say something about Lucas, because Lucas was on that path.
About being a bully.
Yeah, I could see it.
Was it football?
Basketball.
Basketball.
But
I was kind of like, I do kind of sympathize with Marge.
No Stranger Things talk.
I understand that, and we will address that comment later. I just need to stop because he wasn't low key. He was doing it for everyone, but we will carry on. But we will talk after this recording.
Anthony, you in trouble.
I had to process it. I'm like, he is talking about my. Oh no, we will. No, we will talk about that. No. Okay.
Wah, wah.
But
I
will.
This is the way I kind of feel about this whole Marge situation. Like, yes, I do feel like Marge, in a lot of ways, she is also a victim because, like you said, when you're being bullied, especially with that kind of power structure in that day and age, like you really are trying to stay afloat, and you're already walking the line because everyone knows that your so-called best friend is a loony. She belongs in the loony bin supposedly because of everything that she's been through. So you're trying to toe the fence. I get it. I guess the problem that I have is just that you already know your friend is going through some shit.
Yeah, that's really.
And you just don't have the like Lilly the courage to say, screw the patty cakes. I don't care about them. I got more important things to worry about.
Because she do.
And this is somebody who everybody else thinks doesn't have, she's got her screws loose. She ain't got it all together, but she's the one that can stand up for him. You can at least say, you know what? I'm not going to do this because that's my friend.
Right.
But she did it. Now she got to pay for it. So my question is, when are the other two patty cakes going to get what they got coming to them? Because they are the instigators. Mm-hmm. And I have a feeling like they're probably going to start being scared now, because now you done pushed the crazy girl to the point where you think now she has attacked the person that you sent to betray her. Y'all got to be worried now. So you're giving Pennywise fresh bait. But I'm kind of like, you see my screen name. She had it coming.
She had it coming.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, because I was like, you know what? I don't want her to die. I know I said it a couple of episodes ago. I don't want her to die, but I did feel like she needed to be humbled. However,
she needed something, yeah.
I was not expecting it to be something like this, but okay, it is what it is. You were doing some bullshit and you had bullshit done to you. Like we said, Pennywise can be petty. But now it's kind of like in all of that, now Lilly is back in trouble. She's gonna be back in Juniper Hill. And then you have your friends, Ronnie, Will, and Rich come in and they see what's going on. Now I'm sure they probably figured out that has to do with this thing. But again, they can't go tell anyone because they're already on the radar as, oh, okay, y'all are hanging with the crazy girl.
Yeah.
Y'all went to the police station and said some crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't even open their mouths to defend her at this point.
Yeah.
So now she's going to be in Juniper Hill, scared, alone, and with that crazy nurse. Because I'm sorry that something ain't right about that nurse. I don't think Lilly is going to make it through this season. I just don't see it happening. And if she does, like, I'm sitting here trying to remember, like, maybe she was a patient in Juniper Hill in the original It. I don't remember because again, it's been so long since I've read the book.
Yeah, I don't
but
remember that either.
I just, things don't look good for her. Like Pennywise left her alone this episode and still got her.
Yeah.
Just and like I told Dena, okay, so what they were talking about today, they were talking about the fact that, Maddie was seeing strange things before he disappeared or died. So did Phil, so did Teddy. Again, Susie was just collateral damage.
The question is, why hasn't he eaten Lilly yet?
Maybe,
it's not like he hasn't had the opportunity.
It's not enough.
Maybe because she's the thing that's drawing in the others. Think about it. She is the common denominator out of all of the friends right now.
Right. And really, if we start really paying attention to her fear factor, it's not her meat's not juicy enough right now.
Because she because she knows what's going on.
Right, because like literally even when she heard Marty in the pipes, like she had the forefront to go and talk to someone about it. Other kids are hearing people in pipes and they're freaking out.
Yeah.
And she's like, this is interesting. Like, because she probably have heard and seen some things.
Well, when we got the pan through at Juniper Hill, and you could hear people screaming in the background, people sobbing off to the side. I guess she's not really. You're right. She hasn't really.
She's been really afraid.
She's the person who's drawing them in for him, even though she's not aware she's doing it. But like Michelle said, she's the one that's not so scared that she's not telling people. She's going and telling people. She's telling her friends.
Yeah.
And telling her friends are being drawn into this. So she's literally adding to the plate. She's adding to the buffet tray.
Right. It's two of them because Ronnie is the same way. Like she did freak out with her mom, giving birth on the bed and all. But she's also, both of them are like, Ronnie is just she has anger. Yeah. Too. So she's holding back the fear. Yeah, they're not ready yet. Mm-hmm. They like Cornish hens. He wants the turkeys.
Yeah. So like I said, I feel like the other two patty cake girls.
Hey, this is a Friday night,
Good.
Will probably be next on the list. And then, like I said earlier, we haven't seen Rich's. He hasn't started experiencing any of the visions or anything yet. So I have a feeling he's going to be next. Now,
I think he might be difficult too because he already has something he can put in. Like he has an idea. He would be like the indigenous people where he has a category he can place it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I know what this is.
Mm-hmm.
So he won't be as afraid.
Right.
Like they got him in the cemetery, but he was just thinking, okay, well, maybe it actually worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he has a place to put it, to place it. Unlike everyone else who they don't have an idea, so it's freaking them out.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I know we mentioned this earlier in the season, like the first episode or something. Do we still think the turtle charm has anything to do with why Lilly is not being affected as, or why he's not coming after her as much?
Oh, Maddie's charm.
I think those are just
Maddie's
Easter
charm.
eggs. I don't think so.
Okay. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, I feel like he realized that she's the thing that's probably drawing people in, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep using her, because now, you know, she was friends with Maddie. She became friends very briefly with Teddy and Phil, but it was because of what she told them that, you know, like once she told them what happened and what she saw, or, you know, with Maddie, remember, it was literally the day after that Teddy had his vision, you know. She could be the thing that's just drawing everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, think about it. Ronnie would have never been involved if they hadn't said, oh yeah, well, you know, nobody, we told you nobody was gonna believe you talking about the pipes. And Ronnie's like, oh wait, hold up.
How about that?
This is her drawing Ronnie in. She's already got Ted and Phil in. Now she's got Ronnie. Ronnie, you know, because of everything that they're going through, she goes back to Ronnie. Ronnie's like, oh, okay, well, you know, we can bring in Will. He can help us. Will brings in Ronnie brings in Will for the camera.
I was gonna say Ronnie was hearing voices in the pipes.
Yeah.
So it was already coming from Ronnie before she even hooked up with them.
I'm telling you, he puts out feelers every other day. If he wasn't, he was going to get to the other two boys. He was going to, without anybody.
Yeah,
he got Marty. I mean, like,
would Ronnie have said anything about the voices if she hadn't overheard them? She would have. And
no, but I'm just saying, we talking about Pennywise. He's been putting out feelers though.
Because if she had reacted differently to the voices she was hearing in the pipes, she may have been a target eventually at some point.
She probably,
whether or not she was gonna meet Lilly and talk to them about
and I think the boys will too.
She was already hearing voices in the pipes.
Because the thing is, he's going to try different things. If a kid is not successful to it again, I move on.
Because she could have been like, oh, I must be imagining it, and ignored it. And
then he would have went on to the next kid in the neighborhood and figure out, you see what I'm saying? Like, the reason he's getting the kids, some kids and not others, is one, there's some susceptible to it, and he's trying different things. And there's some that be like, oh, that's nothing. But then it was something I read that he comes in different ways. So I can't think of the character. Dena, you'll have to help me, but the guy who was friends to the crazy guy who killed his dad and went to the
the one that he was seeing when he was he was seeing him, he was dead, but he was seeing him when Pennywise came to him in the crazy house.
That's Harry Bowers, right?
No, his friend. He's talking about his friend.
His friend who ended up being like his sidekick, but dead.
I can't remember.
But when he was a kid, and it was said like Pennywise couldn't scare him because he was a psychopath kid, because he like burned animals and he liked disturbing things.
Yeah.
So instead of scaring him, he brought him in by showing him disturbing things. And that sucked him in, and then he turned it on him, and then the fear happened. But to get him, he couldn't scare him, but he just, because he was crazy. So he just showed him things. So like he's trying different stuff with different kids to see which one catches the bait and which don't.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Right.
But he got lucky when they were all together. Like, this is like Christmas.
And y'all are summoning me. Like,
no, I'm talking about the movie theater. Like,
whoa.
I am giving me an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert.
Yeah.
All in one evening.
Yep.
Sweet fear, baby. Yummy.
But why didn't he get them in the cemetery? They wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Because the two boys just figured out there was some freaking ghosts. So they're like, well,
yeah, they were like, oh, this is real.
This is real. So, okay. I'm scared now.
Yeah. And obviously, I mean, they were scared, but not too scared. They were still sitting there trying to take them pictures.
Yeah.
Because if you really scared, you holler.
You ain't worried about no camera.
You like, forget a picture, forget the camera.
Forget those girls. Forget those girls. We going home.
Right. Yeah. That part.
Yeah.
Like, y'all my friends, but we just met though.
Right. I was gonna say we ain't even technically friends at this point. Like, oh, okay, we've known each other for maybe a couple of days at this point. So yeah. But I don't know. I guess we have to see, but I mean, he got Marge good, so
yeah, he did.
He did.
But poor Lilly, because that is not what she needed right now. Like you literally went from being so happy, and now you're just like, oh my God, everybody thinks I tried to kill my friend.
She's like, no. I'm like, yes, baby, yes, yes.
And your friends can't do nothing to help you out.
Because there were no witnesses.
Right. Well, not only that, you tell the principal and everybody else, oh no, she's being haunted by a evil spirit or something. They're gonna be in the rooms at Juniper Hill right next to her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not gonna help nobody.
They're gonna have a luxury suite.
Right. they can't help Ronnie's dad is stay out of Shawshank that way. They can't help Lilly get out of Juniper Hill that way. And then they'll make themselves a sitting target because they all gonna be scared at that point. You go to the loony bin where they do lobotomies and they do like shock treatment. Yeah, no.
Which is insane.
Right. But I tell you.
Speaking of insane, Mr. Dick Halloran is trying to burrow his way inside somebody's head.
Listen,
oh my God,
trying about it.
He in there.
He did.
Oh man.
But
brother man,
do you think that was him at the end?
Yeah.
I think it was, but that was some creepy. That was creepy.
I think that it's a piggyback.
Oh, you think that Pennywise was listening to the now what you do now?
Where are the stones?
You say now?
Where the stones at?
You know what? And now that I think,
because I need the stones to be removed,
right?
So I can move forth in the world.
Yeah.
And me and him in the same headspace. Yeah. The turning was the smile.
Yeah.
So where the stones are again?
That smile was weird. It was
right. Because Dick don't smile like that. The only time you see him smile like that when they drinking in their little club.
Right. But again, let's talk about these visions, because didn't I say in the last episode, y'all need to stop with the damn running man? How many different running creatures did we see in this vision? You had zombies, you had the fake priest that grew 3 sizes, and I can't do it with the creepy runs.
Okay, so let's talk about the dragon glass.
Oh my God, that is exactly what it is. Obsidian dragon glass.
Why do we go into the thing and only take out a little bit?
Right.
Y'all should have taken out as much as you can.
We were moving fast. Now we were moving fast. We didn't have
we're talking
time.
about the first time. We're talking about when the first ancestors came and they took the one big shard. But you know what? Probably because back then that one shard was enough to keep him contained, because again, he wasn't strong. He didn't get strong until the white man came in and he was able to kill all of them. He had a feast,
a buffet.
So yeah, but I'm like you, Anthony. I would have been like, why didn't we just do this from the beginning? Just get a whole bunch of shards. Maybe not do the whole thing that they did, because the way that they temporarily fixed the problem. It was a good thing. Like, they closed off the whole woods with the shards, and they were like, okay, this is how we're going to keep him contained. But my thing was, I was tripping because when he got to the part of the story, he was like, they went back and got some of the shards, not to kill the monster, the Galoo, but to trap it. Why the hell are we not killing it? Why? But then I started thinking, I was like, okay, it could be a spiritual thing. And, they could be like, okay, you know what? We're not going to take its life. If we have a way to contain it without us harming it, just like the words were very important. He was like, they lived in harmony with the beast. So I think that probably was the kicker. They were like, okay, if we can contain it without actually destroying it, or without killing it, without tainting our souls by killing it, then we can do that. But, once he got the chief, old girl was like, oh, you killed my mama, I'm done. We got to do something. I mean, I think she would have killed it if it didn't run away. And then they were like, everybody was like, okay, we're just going to contain him. We're going to keep him here. But obviously, that's not working much, because we see he's been coming out bit by bit. He's stronger. So those shards can't still be in place. Or is it because the military is digging around?
Well, they said that they were buried. She said they buried them really, really deep.
Put them in different things. So yeah.
So I'm thinking they haven't been disturbed yet. Because think about it, even in this timeline or in this universe to present day, it's still there.
Yep.
Like, it has not left Derry.
Yeah. Did I can't remember if they showed, is that forest still the same now as big?
I think that's the city. I think that's where the city.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was about to say. Because I feel like, because they I know, like, they were saying, like, it's Derry, but it's also surrounding areas near Derry. It's not just Derry, but it's surrounding, like, that whole surrounding area near Derry. So I was just wondering, like, so he clearly got past a certain barrier, or his whatever over time got past a certain barrier. So maybe the more they dug up and the more they start doing stuff, the more he was able to spread a little further out. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Because that's.
I'm thinking they put it. I'm thinking because I think they said. See, this is the thing. I don't rewatch stuff, so I feel like they said they got with other tribes to do it as well. So I think the barrier is further out than just the city of Derry.
But then she mentioned something about the fact that they don't have as much homeland as they used to. So maybe with them, I don't know.
Well, that would have been because of, like, the government, like, taking their land and squishing them down and pushing them on the res and all that stuff.
Yeah. I don't know.
And they wouldn't have control over those areas either to kind of keep the stuff from being messed up.
Yeah. But see, that's why I was wondering, like, maybe one of the shards has been disturbed, because I mean, you see the military is digging around. They're looking for stuff. And even though Rose and her people are keeping track of what they're doing, because what was it the guy said? He said, we went to all the places that she said to go and there was nothing there. So she's obviously keeping them from whatever it is they're looking for. But I don't know.
See, the reason why I don't think any of the shards have been disturbed or the pillars is because it is still there. Like, why would it stay there if it has a smorgasbord of a whole country? It can just go around
and devour
well,
people.
I mean, but think about it. If you have this one town where you can come out every 33 years or
27, but they changed it for, like, the other movies. So I don't know if they changed it in the recent movies.
Okay. But if you can come out every 2.5 decades, take your fill, because it's not like he gonna have to eat everything. I mean, even predators have their limit. with what they can eat. Maybe he's like, you know what? I don't need to go anywhere else. I can just go here. I can do what I need to do. Children disappear. I have my fill. They're gonna forget in a few years anyway, and I can start the cycle right back. I mean, I'm going by what you said, Michelle. You said he has gotten up there in age. He's getting lazy.
But this is not up in age right here. If you have the opportunity,
for millions of years.
Okay. So it's like, okay, Georgia, seafood. Okay, I'm gonna eat the seafood. I love seafood. It's okay. But if I have the opportunity and the gates open up to go to any in Coast Savannah will be one of them, but just to get out of the city to go to the coast to get some fresh, or across the state to get some fresh, because this dairy stuff starts to taste old.
Like eating fried chicken every day for a week.
Right. And you can go out there and get some new taste and fear from people. So he can't go nowhere, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But so we get that whole story, and then at the end, when Dick Halloran or maybe Pennywise is asking Tanya, so where are these sharks now? He's like, yeah, you go through there, find the wells, and be on your way. And it's the creepy house. I was like,
no, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. That is not happening.
There is nothing about that house that would make me want to say, yeah, I'm going to go in there and look for these. No, you know what? We're going to leave that thing right where it is.
As soon as the general say, Halloran, you going to go in? No, I am not. You can go in for yourself.
Send Hamlin in. He ain't got no fear. I'll tell him where to go.
Send Leroy.
I get in his mind and tell him where to go. Hey, Leroy, can I get in your mind for that? I'll tell you where to go. You ain't got no fear.
You ain't got no fear. You go do it. Because I'm not going in there.
No.
That house by itself looked, nope.
I didn't like it when I saw it in the movie the first time. No. I was like, nope. And then we see what happens in the house. Nope.
That's a bull.
I don't need that kind of monster. I don't need that kind of running. Like I said, I saw enough of that running in this episode when they crouching down on all fours.
I thought about you. Yeah.
I'm sure several times during this episode. I'm sure y'all heard me across the miles. Nope. I was like, you know what? They really trying to make me cut this TV off right now. Especially when that Joker grew and then bruh. No. Anyway. Did we touch on everything?
Let's see.
That's a turtle shell, isn't it?
You didn't notice that before? Oh. They put in the turtle shell.
The turtle shell.
I noticed that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was just that situation was just messed up though, that they made him go mess that boy up in that boy's head to get that information.
But you know what? I gotta say this. Once he spit at Halloran's face, I was like, you know what? You do what you need to do. I cannot stand
I can't with the
spit. Spit on other people. That's is so like nasty. The worst, most
so nasty.
Yes, that is.
Sometimes
that's the nightmare.
Sometimes I feel like the writers know, okay, well, if he's gonna do this, if he's gonna jack up Taniel's head, we gotta give Halloran sort of like
a good reason to do it.
A good reason to do it.
Yeah.
Yep. And one thing I think that's worse than having, like, if it was a white character who did that, I'd be pissed off, but I'd be like, you know what? I'm expecting that because that's what you expect. To have another oppressed and marginalized person do it to another oppressed, nah, you know what? That's some disrespectful shit. I'm gonna need, I'm gonna get all up in your brain. No.
Ugh. I was just like, come on. Why is that the first thing people want to write?
Because they know know how disrespectful it is.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I see that in anything, I just want to punch people.
Yeah. And that's the reaction they want you to have.
Yeah, I was listening to someone earlier. It was actually Cam Newton because he was talking about a football player spit on another football player in this past weekend. And he said, we play this game and we talk and we throw hands. That's all good. But anytime something leaves your body, that
Yeah,
is not good.
Nope.
that is disgusting.
It is not good.
Disrespect. That's like disrespect on a
It's
high level.
the highest
Like,
level.
I can get over somebody like slapping me or punching me in the face. You spit on me, I'm going for blood.
It's going down.
Yeah.
That reminds me of that actor from Walking Dead. He was one of the saviors. He was in that Will Smith movie Emancipation, and he spit in his face, and it was not scripted. It was a whole bunch of drama behind that.
Yes.
I have to show him to you, but I forget his name. But he was one of the saviors. He's one of the boss saviors. Salt and pepper.
Simon.
Yeah.
Probably tall, mustache, kind of
bald
going
head.
bald.
Yeah. Stephen
Yeah.
Ogg.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that is people know. People know when they're doing that, they are trying to get shot. They know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I was almost feeling sorry for Taniel, and then he did that, and I was like, okay, Dick, do what you do. Do what you do. But yeah, that story was very interesting because I think that's the first time that I can think of that we've heard that detailed of an origin story for Pennywise.
Yeah.
So that was interesting, but yeah, now we got to see where this story is going, because again, I'm not going in that house.
Yeah.
Y'all can do whatever.
Well, we know the Losers Club do, and we saw how that turned out.
Yeah.
But nah, I got nothing. Because I was gonna say, as far as the Losers Club, I think the Losers Club probably, I think they fared better because I think the bond between them was stronger and they had more trust in each other. Like with these kids right now, Ronnie and Lilly and Will and Stan, why am I forgetting Rich?
Rich.
Yeah, Rich. Yeah, I was
They're
like,
all
wait,
still
Stan?
like they're bonded, but they're still newly bonded. Like they don't have the I don't know. I just don't feel like that's strong enough with them yet. So, but again, we have 4 episodes left, so we don't know what other trials they're going to go through. The fact that they've even made it through 3 episodes when the other kids didn't even make it through the first one, I'm like, okay, I feel a little bit of optimism, but I'm also trying not to because I'm expecting that any of them are going to die at any minute.
Well,
Yeah.
we know Will is marked safe, and that's
We
good
know
enough.
Will is
We
safe.
know Will is marked safe.
The rest of them, I don't know.
I feel Lilly is.
You feel like Lily's safe?
Mm-hmm.
What about, but not Ronnie, not.
Well, I kind of think something in the book.
Yeah, Ronnie's not safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's something about Ronnie.
Beth knows
I don't know where it came from, but something.
And Beth sees Ronnie in one of her visions.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so. But we don't know when, in the 20s or 30s. We don't really know.
Okay. So yeah, 4 more episodes. At this point, I don't know what to expect. I do know that Lily is about to end up in Juniper Hill. That's about the only thing I know for sure at this moment. I don't know what's going on with anybody else. Michelle, I think you might be right about Dick, about Pennywise piggybacking in Taniel's head with Dick.
Yeah.
Because that smile was very creepy.
So,
but other than that, I don't know what to expect. At this point, they could all survive. At this point, they could all die. I don't know. Except for the people that we know, exist later on, but I don't know. I'm worried about Lilly. Lilly is the one. She has become my favorite, probably because I feel like she needs the most protecting, you know. Yeah.
I think also because we know Will is gonna live at least until adulthood. We're kind of
Yeah.
like, he good.
And I'm gonna be honest, Ronnie doesn't seem like she needs that much protection. Like she has that strength about her. Like she kind of reminds me of Charlotte in a way, because she is not afraid to use her voice. She's not afraid to tell people what she thinks or to say that you're wrong. So yeah, at this point it's just Lilly for me, because I feel like she needs to be in a glass bubble where nothing can touch her until this, as the general said, until this cycle ends. And then when she gets grown, she can get the hell out of Derry and maybe never come back.
Definitely not.
So I don't know. You guys have any final thoughts about this episode?
Well, I love a good historical like storyline.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
I like that we saw the house at the end.
I just like the origin story. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I always like that. Yeah.
Yeah, especially since again, that's the most that we've known about this particular character. So yeah, but yeah, I like the origin story too. I think that was probably one of my favorite parts of the episode. Did not like all the running creatures that I can do without. And Marge's eyes were quite gross. I'm glad I had just finished eating when that happened, because I thought, I was like, okay, too bad this episode, Will got pulled in the water, and we got to see Major Hanlon in his little burnt state. But if that's what he looked like after his plane crash, he looks good now, because you can't tell he has any, like, you would think him being burnt like that, he would have had some skin grafts, or he would have some.
Don't he have some scars on his left
face?
cheek?
Very faint scars.
Yeah.
But not like I would think from the way that they showed what happened with his character. But yeah, I want to know how he's gonna affect this story, this no fear thing. I think that's the thing I'm most interested in, even beyond what the kids do or how they defeat, if you can call it defeating Pennywise this go round. I really want to see how Hanlon plays into it.
Right.
So yeah.
Which is it a defeat, or he just went to sleep?
Yeah.
Like, who really won? We clearly know who's safe too. Pennywise.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Well, unless you guys have anything else, I guess that is it for our show. You can find us online at www.fandomhybrid.com. We are on social media, on all the social media at Fandom Hybrid. You can chat with us on our Discord channel. You can watch our videos on our YouTube channel, and you can listen to us on all major podcast streaming platforms. Thanks for listening. We hope you join the conversation next time.
Bye.